Well, it happens, doesn't it? I'm only just starting to make some videos. There's not a lot on Spiritual Assault 'cause it came out in November 2022. I just had a wonderful kill. Great Ascensions, great Scrolls. I was unkillable on the bird and didn't record the last 10 minutes when I got a phone call, paused and didn't unpause. That's life. Just do it again. The good thing about this is it's a consistent kill. And whether you're here to farm essence, because remember your talents don't actually play into this. The only thing that plays is these ones here, which actually really make the bird strong. So I'm just going to talk about the tools that I use to play better. I don't play the bird a lot, but I've played him in Spiritual Assault several times and beaten it. And he is one of the more powerful heroes in here because of his Ascension choices, give him great defense, actually good weapon damage as well. Um, and that really was what counts because I go for a weapon build here because it's consistent and assured and it wins every time. So even on a bad run that I did the one before, I was just doing a couple to see the synergy on this between goblet choices and so forth. This guy rocks. So I always have open on a second window.
My webpage. I just happens you could all tab to it. But I think this is the best info on the web. SlightNRG, his page, you can see there underneath this video. I have that enlarged, and even though that is for different builds that you will do reincarnation runs, and I'm going to do a build like do these builds and put them up as videos on each hero. I have beaten R8s on each hero solo, and that was my aim. I did a second actual save to do everything from beginning to end on my own to see, just to set a challenge, keep the game fresh. So I'm looking at the first picks at the top. They are really crucial to reduce leap time because reducing leap time, and then the other blue ascensions, I'm going for the unkillable leap build because I only want to use my skills for defense. I'm not using them for damage. As you'll see, the weapons, the rainbow or the radioactive glove, and then I'm looking for the shotguns, which are the Argus, because they have high projectile count, or the Wild Hunt. They're the two I'm hunting for. I might use some other ones like the Wheel Saw or the Hell or whatever that have projectile count on them. Even the Porcupine has high projectile count but low base damage, so it's a bad spore weapon. But temporary, I'll just play with that because the loadout that I have, and I'll just head back to that, in the spiritual concentrator. Just give me a sec.
Swap screens here. Is a little bit different on this hero than others. Often the particular ones, you have to unlock this maybe, and I forget what it is to unlock, but it won't be hard to unlock. You could use the Valiant Sword in the meantime that gives you 25% rate of fire and 25% movement speed. Both of those are the most important things for the injectors to play spores quickly and to win at this particular content. So things that really make it helpful. I struggled with this content early, done it in co-op with my son who's 25 and bought me the game at Christmas. But then I read a Reddit post that helped me on one thing, and then I just worked it out and played with how the timers work. Everything in this spiritual assault is on a timer. The more enemies you pew pew in the timer, the more levels you get, the more weapon upgrades you get, the more scrolls you get. Now, you would normally be, because you're getting spores early, with spores, you'll be at least level 41 to 43. If you get unlucky on weapons, scrolls, and you don't pew pew as quickly. I've been as high as 51, just when everything falls together. Now, non-negotiables is we don't have money. I think at the last video I just did, I got spores at level 2, and you got 150 gold or less, I think it was 80 gold, and this is 300 gold to re-roll spores. It might take 4 or 5, and I've had up to 12 rolls to get spores, which doesn't matter. You could do 50 rolls, and you can change weapons quickly without penalty. So you can pick up temporary weapons, roll them, and you're not scrambling for gold. So that's absolutely crucial. The only condition is you can only have 20 scrolls, which I don't find a problem. 20 good scrolls, you're going to blitz everything and just throw out the ones that are mediocre. I talk about scrolls along the way. I'll do timestamps to the most important things, but if you want to hear the scroll choices along the way and why they're good and what I'm going for, You'll have to sort of watch a little bit more. This one here is 3 weapons that drop early. This is what makes the Gemini's drop at the first Craftsman. If you ran around and were level 1 and killed nothing, waited for the time to hit the first Craftsman, they will have Gemini inscriptions on them, and then you start killing, and anything, every 50 enemies that you kill will drop a shotgun and an injector for you, and you're off to a good start, and you're pew-pewing. Now, crucial ones also are this one, so you're not ever scrambling for ammo or running out. You're leveling every minute in the early stages very fast, and you get full ammo. I mean, it helps your armor and that come back, but because the bird's so good at just leaping at things to get its armor back, you don't have to worry about that. That's optional. Change whatever you want there because skill damage doesn't scale well in here. Weapon damage is a non-negotiable. You have to keep it because you'll be at least, say you're level 40. 3 times 40 is 120. You get 120 weapon damage just for that one item in there, and it's very, very helpful. Don't need that. That one is just, again, you can fill it with whatever you want. And this one also, I would normally get rid of those and put the Valiant down here, but it actually doesn't work with the Boomerang to get these two and the Valiant Sword. The Valiant Sword's down here. It's pretty nice rate of fire base damage. And movement's life in this game. We just hope for some scrolls like the abnormal speed or the ostrich boots, which I usually get one of the two in there, and then you might get some other ascensions that give me movement. So that's the loadout. Let's see how we go. I'm not doing this for essence, but that allows me, when you do have some essence, to re-roll the goblets to what I want. And I'll talk about that in the timestamps. You can have a look and skip to it if you're just after a bit of quick info and you want to skip down. I'll talk about scrolls along the way, and I'll talk about why the rainbow and the radioactive glove are the best weapons in here. They're the only 2 auto-aiming weapons in the game, and the rainbow is the best defensive weapon simply because you can aim through terrain, shoot through walls, you can use your corners, and if you don't get good defensive ascensions, it still means you've got a successful run. Let's head in. Okay, got a rainbow straight up, which is a good starting weapon, but it actually kills a bit quick. So I might just test and wait for the first Craftsman and then kill, because so often you kill too quick and you get your first, I don't know, the number of times I've got my shotgun and the injector I want right away. So we'll do a bit of an experiment here. Now you lose a couple of levels, but you're going to pew-pew so much in a second. I'll kill a couple, I just don't see it. Just really good weapon for auto-aiming and destroying the lens. I mean, you can do your cleave, but I don't want it to kill 50 and then I get Gemini's dropping. It seems to drop the weapons I most use in here. I don't know if that's coded that way, but obviously it's going to drop every 50 things I kill. The 2 that I've got there are shotgun. The only shotgun I don't want to drop at this point is the illusion. Great shotgun, just terrible for being a spore multiplier on our weapon that we don't use. Okay, we just wait. The Craftsman's about to appear. And then I'm going to pew-pew everything and run to the Craftsman and have a look. Because on the Craftsman, now I can kill my 50, and I've got a weapon that will do it quickly. You do your leap, whatever. We've got a Craftsman over there. I'm going to run to it quickly and see if there is a shotgun on there. Now, that'll do just in a pinch. We can buy that in a minute, but there is no shotgun to buy. So now we can just queue and wait for our injector and shotgun. Now I've misclicked that, so I have to change weapons to get my right click, which allows you to click, say, on the boss at the end, the gluttony, his crit spot, and it will crit, because this just does white damage, as you can see, for the most. It's getting crits there, I don't know why. Just waiting for our shotgun is the main thing. Don't use any upgrades on the left. And you're not, even if you get a temporary weapon that you're going to use, you're not going to use any of that. We're killing all right. It's heading towards the first chest and the next Craftsman and Peddler. So I've got plenty of time just to wait and get our weapons together. Looking for Wild Hunter and Argus, or any shotgun at this point that has multipliers on it, projectiles. I'll show you those numbers in a second. I find this quite relaxing once I worked it out and wasn't struggling to keep alive. And how do I kill this stuff? Things do get a bit harder to kill after the first Craftsman. Okay, we've got an Argus already, so we've got our shotgun. I've just got to make sure I don't die picking it up. And we actually got, that's not a bad one too, just to plant spores. It's fairly fast firing. Just stay alive for a second, leap to get there. And we're going to roll spores. Now, normally, what have we got? 176 gold. And what level are we? We're level 4. Everything's going to die instantly now, simply because we've got spores so early and we can re-roll to get it. And the game's sort of gearing for you to get this level 15 or something. So what it means is you're going to start pew-pewing now and get a lot more level, a lot more ascensions, so forth. A lot more scrolls. So we're going to roll spores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1,500 gold that we don't have to re-roll that. 1, 2, 3. That's why that's crucial to have that purple thing in the spirit concentrator. Now that is the weapon that I'm going to take to the end game. All of these down here, the inscriptions, count for nothing. All that matters is that number of 13, the wild hunt's 12 usually, and that base number. Now you might get a hell that's 18 or a porcupine that's 20 or something, but usually I did get a hell on the last game. There is some RNG that had decent base damage and really high 18.5 multiplier. So we're going to stick with that. And now we've got that, we can use our upgrades. So switch to the weapon that you want to upgrade. Otherwise, you'll be upgrading the weapon you're going to throw away in a second. And you're going to get some scroll choice. Against the flow is great. It just means less ammo recovery and less reloading. And we're going for the blues, looking at my other sheet on SlightNRGs. I want to juice, this is one of the top choices if you looked on the screen at the start, because I want to get my leap down so that when I get the ascensions, when I leap, I get armor back. That, I can do that more often if I get hit. Now that's usually a top choice too. That's second to that after leap weapon damage. But really looking for blues because I won't be using our leap a lot, except to stay alive. So we're off to a good start now. We just got to pew everything, one shot everything. Only downside of this weapon is plant spores quickly. You've got to be close. But at the start of the game, it's not dangerous. Best scroll at this point to get is veteran because you're close. It's not dangerous. I'm not using my skills at all. I'm not really leaping. I'm not really cleaving because this will kill much faster. Here, I'll give you an example. Now, he's still alive where he's dead. So spores just perform so well. I got my ostrich boots and I wanted movement. It's really good to get early because it just means I can get around to the enemies quicker. I do this little square circuit here. It's my favorite starting point. So I'll run up here sometimes. Just remember where your craftsmen's are. So as soon as I get an injector to drop in a minute. Now I might get a laser glove. I might get, because they've got a chance on anything, thunderclap gloves. I won't change to them. I might change to it just to kill like this because they're high fire rate, but I got to aim. I want a weapon that I don't have to aim for when things get really heated up. The radioactive glove refracts to the 3 enemies around it when you press the right mouse button at the right time. It gets enhanced. Kill the gunners here and the catfish because they can be hurtful. Now this is a good one, mainly to get out of danger, but also on the boss, he does a hand swipe that can one-shot you if you haven't got the right ascensions, the right scrolls. So I'm going to choose that. I'm not worried about my capacity for my queue because I'm never using any of the cleave choices, always the blues. Never do that one. I mean, that's a valid build for, playing reincarnation when I do 8s. But, this one here is, I don't care about it at all. So they're not great, but I do not want to do that because it's going to hurt me. So I'll choose that. I'm looking for defensive blues. I'm looking for things that increase my armor upon leap or killing enemies. I've just got a radioactive glove. I just got to make sure I don't die getting it. And now we're going to pew like there's no tomorrow. Run here, and I've got a guy on me. It's already got spores. Now, what I'm looking for on the gloves is rate of fire. The shock effect's doing nothing for us, but rate of fire is king in here. The faster the rate of fire, the more spores on the enemy, and that's why the gloves, the base level of usually, might be 1,000 or something there, but we'll get an extra 200 rounds within 100 seconds. And I'm looking for lucky shot on kill. You can get often 50% lucky shot. It's a blue, but we'll get that later. 50% lucky shot on kill. Yeah. So that's a good starting weapon, level 5. I'm going to upgrade always at the Craftsman when they come, so I don't forget. As soon as they turn up, I run to them, and then I look. Just let me clear a bit here now. It will start pew-pewing now. What are we? Level 7, and we're destroying Enhanced Beam. I'll show you without Enhanced Beam at this level. Everything is one shot. Spores are being placed so fast, you're not even seeing, there's spore count there, because I stopped the beam, but you're not even seeing the counter on the top. It's corrosion, so it's really eating through anything with armor, with the yellow above them. Though the rainbow do the same, to be honest. It's just spores is so powerful at this level. I've got an upgrade for my weapon, so I control click. I've got it. That's the, just to show you, I don't want to misclick it. That's got a multiplier of 10 by 120, but we're already 13. That's so much better, higher base damage, and we're just doing the base damage up each one now. I've got no really great ascensions yet, and I might get some good scrolls. That's skill based, I don't care about. No, that stops reloading and the injector does burn through it. But I will look to see, because if I get feline, cat, and I get buffer shield, which I can re-roll on the first goblet, you become invincible. So I'm going to give it a bit of a roll, and what I do here is toss out anything that I don't need. That's not bad, because that's, we're never going to get our health once we get some ascensions. That's a really nice one I'm always going for, not because of the corrosion for the glove, even if I'm using the rainbow that has no element on it. It means that the octopuses, it doesn't matter, the octopuses and the cappers can't slow me. Being slowed, the mob catches up to you, is certain death. Capacity, I don't really, that's a good one when I'm doing R8s, because it doesn't do a lot of damage to you, but I don't want it in here. I don't care for it. I can only have 20 scrolls, so I'm being selective at this point. Going back, start pew-pewing. So I won't do the enhanced beam just to show you without, but when they do get bunched up, the enhanced beam will spread to the 3 enemies that are close and kill 4 things all at once. So I just do a little square here, and I'm just waiting for no more. I'm not even looking at shotguns now. I'm committed for the run. As I said, doesn't matter what's under here, it doesn't count, just those 2 numbers. And increasing my boat. There's the cappers. If you didn't have the, the corrosive shard, I always kill them anyway because they can still hurt you, but they can't slow you. Especially when there's sharks around and the octopus is slow. The catfishes can knock you back. Okay, we've got our choice here. We're not going for the cleave. After leap weapon damage is the no-brainer here, but I don't need it now. Might use it later on when I leap for defense, and then I get some weapon damage afterwards. I mean, I'm killing them as quick as I can't even get over the fence there. Got a chest down bottom. I'm not worried about that for the moment. Oh wait, we've got a Craftsman coming up now, which just came in. So that's when I check the chest and I run to the Craftsman. So you can always see the icons for the new ones. And I look on here for a scroll. I'm going to do that because I get movement from using the glove. And that's a good one that on leap you get to get it back quickly once we get some defensives. So I bumped that up. Now we've got our base damage above 200. It was 114 or something before. We're looking good, and we're just wanting some scrolls. I want abnormal speed, or I've got the ostrich boots, but it'd be nice to have both. But I'm happy that I just got the ostrich boots early. Don't care about money. We've got nothing to spend it on except for a scroll now and then. I never do that one because I don't want to get 2 bad scrolls that are either just useless to what I'm doing, and I don't need ammo, so I'm just going to say nothing to that. And have a look at the chest. Our search scroll's good, and it's a bit rough to get this early, but I got bullet light. That's lucky shot chance. We're not having ammo problems yet, but we can toss it if we do. But I'm just going to send life steal. but you take 50% damage. It's all right. It's really good in certain circumstances, but I'm not going to do it in here. I'll just choose that. It's 40% damage when getting hit, and you're getting hit all the time here. Okay, the assault's coming in. They'll spawn wherever you are, so I'm going to come here and I do a little square circuit here. Just want to remember where the Craftsman is so that when I get a better weapon, though this has got the other run I just did that was brilliant, that I did a mistake on the recording. I got 50% lucky shot chance on killing an enemy, reload on killing an enemy, and 50% rate of fire on killing an enemy. So I'm just looking for injectors at this point. Rainbow, radioactive glove. Not reusing the refracted beam because they're too spread out now, but it starts to heat up now as we're heading to the first set of elites in our first goblet choice. As I said, it's all on a timer. So if you run around the map, they'll still, the elites will come out at the time, but you haven't killed as much in that timer. And when you kill those elites, all the trash disappears. So you don't get as many levels, which means there's not as much choice for the Ascensions, weapon upgrades, and so forth. Now I'm going to use my enhanced beam. They're bunched up a bit, which I missed it. Once you get the rhythm of it, there's a ping in the game, you hear it. You're not actually looking at the green spot. And even if you miss one, like I'll miss one, you get a second chance before it runs out. Now in here, I'd say the rainbow is the best weapon because when it gets really tough, if you've been unlucky on defensive Ascensions, which we've not really got a lot yet, we haven't got any, though it's early days. And we choose here. Game pauses solo play. This doesn't happen when you're doing co-op. It's actually easier to learn solo play. That's lucky shot. I'm going to go anything that gives me weapon damage, and I am doing elemental at the moment. Even if I pick up the rainbow, it doesn't matter. I can drop them for later on. 15 minutes in the next 5 seconds when the number of hits caused by a single shot is greater than 4, where we're doing very fast injectors. So there was just cleave for the other. Not great Ascensions, but we're not dependent upon them. It's the brilliance of going a weapon skill-based run. It's a certainty because of our concentrator. We're going to get those shotguns and we're going to get better and better injectors. And we just got a rainbow. Let's have a look at it. It's got rate of fire on it, so we're good there. Burning, we're getting nothing from because it's got no burning. Sometimes you'll have burning on it. Magazine's 50% full rate of fire. This is really good, especially on some different. But once you start getting scrolls and that, I've got to get to a Craftsman. There was one up here and one down bottom, so I'm going to jump down to down bottom. At least I get to show you why the rainbow is, I think, superior to the glove. The glove has more range, so you can play a bit more defensively, and it slows the enemies coming to you. It also has the advantage that it eats through the armor, which some of the elites have. But honestly, this will eat through them too. Got it on the first roll. Okay. Now the beauty about this is you can use your corners and fire through it. Use the pillars in the center of the room because it will fire through all the terrain, shoot through floors. You got stuff that wants to hit you there. Not that at this level it's dangerous. I'm going to run through them, but having spores and we're level 14 and it's got rate of fire on it, it's placing the spores on so quickly. Usually that's got a base damage, so it's usually about 1,056. We're getting 25% straight up. So you've got to watch your ammo, but look at our ammo I'm looking at now. We're not really reloading at this point, and we're hoping to get some other scrolls. Got a radioactive glove. Let's have a look at it. This glove doesn't crit, so that's not helping you. When reloading, and it's got 50% rate of fire killing an enemy. That's very nice again. The other one's got 25, but we're killing just good. So, I'm not bothered, but that is really good glove. 50% rate of fire killing an enemy. I would go that if I just wasn't too lazy to have to run down to Craftsman and slow down the kills. We're killing easily and quickly, and that's all that matters at this point. Later on, when the chests come and the chat chests come, I love the one that says replace all normal inscriptions with rare, and I'll just pick up a weapon I'm not using. And usually it rolls, lucky shot and rate of fire on it. So that's one of my favorites. And if it doesn't, and it rolls crit, which is all right on this weapon to do crit, it won't help us on the trash. Got a wild hunt again. Shotguns we're not worried about. I'm running around the same area because I want most kills before that timer hits that first elite icon on the top of the screen. And it's going to move forward whether I just run around and kill 0 on the map or not. So we're at 9 minutes. It must be around 10 minutes that first elites appear. And I've been in here without spores. And man, you're struggling by now, especially after that first goblet choice, because the enemies have so much more health. Massive elites coming now. Now you could run around and just kill the elites. There's a catfish, and then all the trash disappears. I'll just kill a bit of the trash because, you will get the XP from it because it's fun. Now this guy, keep in a close but not too far, and he won't do those projectiles at you. We're just melting so quickly because the game doesn't expect you to have this much power this early. And there's our first goblet choice. Level 20, 10 minutes in, or 10 minutes without me pausing. And it doesn't count the little interlude of like 40 seconds or something. So it pauses the game when we're doing goblet choices. If you're in here for Essence, and you'll get about 550 by doing the run within about 40 minutes without commentary, maybe 35. Just choose one of the 3 that doesn't take away from your weapon damage. So sometimes you get something here that says 100% skill damage, but 50% weapon damage minus. Skills we're not using, they're just defensive. We haven't got them yet, but they'll turn up. Now the cooldown of using leap will be good, but I'm going to just rewrite. So I would choose that as my choice if I was just doing an essence farm. What's that there? Tender charging bullet, 10% damage for the next shot for every 1 meter moved. So if you've got fast movement, but we're killing everything so fast. I'd go that one for defense later on. I'm going to try to re-roll buffer shield to show you why. I either go firearm specialist or buffer shield, whatever turns up first. 100% normal damage, but can't deal elemental effect. That will kill the gloves corrosion. I'd choose that if I was just doing the rainbow, so I'd be happy with that. 100% skill damage, that's when I said not to choose, minus 50% weapon damage. And we're not doing crit except for the boss. It'll be all right later on, but I just want to show you I've got plenty to burn. I'm capped, so let's see what other choices we got. Got the charging bullet again. It gets really costly. You can see it's 190 a roll now. Never choose glass cannon. Not only, and it doesn't say it here, I did a run with my son and he chose that. It halves your shield and armor. And you are just a glass cannon. So I can only imagine choose that if you got really good defensive. Well, it'd be wonderful to choose if you got buffer shield as the first goblet, and then you got feline and you're invincible. And then you could just really just see how you could destroy everything. That'd be a bit of fun then, maybe. But don't choose it now. You're gonna have to choose something. Well, I got firearm specialist. I'm happy with the 100%, and skill damage goes down. I don't care about skill damage. Okay, the new Craftsman's there. I'm going to quickly get to them. But I would re-roll like buffer shield because we've already got the minus 30%. And on this hero only, choose buffer shield first over weapon damage because that minus 30% when you're close to enemies, which is in our concentrator. And if you put buffer shield together, which says all hits below 30% are immune to, it nearly makes you invincible for the run. Nearly, as long as you don't have a lot of enemies around you that hit you at the same time for more than the 30. So it's a bit like feline, and that's why this character is very powerful. And that's what I had on the last run that I didn't record properly. Okay, so we're just at the Craftsman, we're just bumping that up. We're having a look at the peddler simply for a scroll at this point. You might get an injector here that's good, but it doesn't turn up very often. No and no. So right now, I'm going to go up to my favorite spot up top. You can see the little yellow bar, it's about to start. I can press F to start it early, which I'll do when I'm in my favorite spawn point because they spawn. I've got a weapon upgrade too. That's a good one. You get hit and then you've got your leap on cooldown, even though, we're going to get that down. But And we've got some chests coming up. I never choose the chests if they give me a cursed scroll, unless I have the immunity to it, which I did get on the last run, and you often do. So that's a good one. Anything with the blues that are... It's a good one with the rainbow because it can shoot through stuff and just bounce around if you like jumping. But I'm just going to go through the 35% non-crit damage, and because we're not critting, it's a nice one. That's a good one because we've got lots of... So we got that straight up. We've got 30% weapon damage there because we've got no problems with gold. We're looking for the blues. Sometimes the red, have a look. That's a good one because you do get more armor and that 90 will go up. But we're going to do that one because the ironclad is better, the blue upgrade. Now, where do you go? Pressing F. The craftsmen tend to spawn where you are, so the next craftsman we're heading towards will probably be up here. Just got to remember that the craftsman I got to go to if a better weapon drops is downstairs. The reason I like this is, again, I want to kill as many enemies where I'm not really in danger and they're not really even getting a chance to do their stuff. Keep strafing around. The more movement speed, this was just so nice. To get early means that they will shoot where you just were. So if you keep circling them, they cleave or aim their frontal where you just were and you're out of that directional. When it heats up, this little corridor here is good to gather them up in. And always clear the exits here. There's some catfish spawn sometimes, so you can run away when it heats up. That's later on though. We got a laser glove, so we didn't get the injector that we want. And you have to aim it, so I'm only looking for those radioactive glove and the rainbow. There's an angelic aura, my favourite weapon for doing reincarnation. Highest fire rate in the game. Put spores on that. Have a wild hunt or an Argus in the offhand, and even if you don't hit the crit spots, you are just melting in Act 4. Another Argus. The other thing is, the more enemies you kill, at this point, the more chances you've got to get weapons with OP stats or inscriptions. Now, that's really nice because it does skill damage generally on an R8. I'd jump at that, but I'm just going to do, nothing's really great there. I'll just put that on for the moment and I'll toss it later. This one here, when hitting an enemy, leap, consume all your armor. Don't do. Like, we just want it for defensive. When your arm breaks, 30% weapon damage. I mean, I don't want the cleave stuff, so that's the best of the three. Resolute stops shield and armor regen, doubles the time. Do not want that. Probably doesn't hurt us, and we get movement speed in this build because when we leap, so I'll do it on this one. I wouldn't do it on another character. Convert shield armor to health. On this one, because it would kill this character, but if you got, I think it's called paranormality, I would choose that, which turns all of my health to 1 and armor to double, because we've got such good armor regen in our Ascensions. That would be so, but on here would kill us. That's just great, really good, and really good bossing weapon. So scroll, anything that's weapon damage. Not that now we need it, but everything we're heading towards. We've got blue, 100% weapon damage after calls. That's weapon damage again. That's not bad, the victory rush. And we've got leap base damage, reduced enemy every defeated by it. So I'm going to go that one because I don't care about the base. If I was doing an R8, definitely take the blue. Just getting the monks down now. I don't want to be, and the kappas are coming. Heading towards 2 chests. I think the next time is 16 minutes. I can't remember the next break point. Just looking for better weapons. And the chat chests ahead often will have something that turns normals all into rares. So if you pick up a really higher weapon that has no rate of fire or lucky shot chance on it, those chests can make that weapon awesome. Now we got a rainbow. I'll have a look at that in a second, but I'm not in a hurry because I'm killing stuff so fast. Weapons do despawn at different breakpoints. So if you want to check out a weapon, I'll just check it out then. Pick it up and tab, and the game's paused for you in single player. Now, when you're doing co-op, I want to reforge that. I have to say that to my mates. or my son, hey, can you cover my back while I reforge? Because they've got to clear the vendor and make sure I don't get hurt. That's okay, but not great. Let's reload. When reloading right after killing enemy, it's all reload stuff. I don't care about that. Damage and burning's doing nothing, and that's really, nah. Doesn't matter about the level of this weapon. It's just this is a spore planter for this weapon, and we're upgrading that all the time. And every spore's hitting harder because of that number, and there's 13 projectiles. So I'm going to go back to that and clear so I don't die quickly. Just jumping to get my armor up to 120 from 90. So whenever I get hit, this is why this is so powerful. Close to the enemies, I'm getting the minus 30% damage from them. One of the strongest heroes in here. Like in comparison, the Fox that's fun in R8s is a glass cannon, and it's known to be that. And its skill damage just doesn't perform in here. You even get the right, so hit and miss RNG wise to get the right ascensions to do, say, a spiritual flame build or something. I'll just kill these cappers and catfish. I want to keep my exits clear. Just leaping to get my armor back. And whenever I get hit and leap, I want to get my cooldown on my leap up. You can see it. Killing enemies, bringing my cooldown down. So that's helpful that we're killing so fast. So I keep my leap for when I get hit, really, at this point, until I get better ascensions. Get our first chest down bottom, but I want to kill as many enemies. What do we get there? No. It's a nice weapon, that, but not for this. We got another rainbow I'll have a look at in a second. But everything's one-shotting. As I said, Spores is, in my opinion, you might want in the comments say differently, but I've beat R8 runs on characters I don't play simply because slight RNG. I just try different builds, find the strengths and weaknesses of them. I'm older, 57, so I haven't got the reaction time of my son, who's a much better player. But I have got my smarts to be able to, and I'm very thankful to the community. Only reason I started recording is that there just wasn't much on Spiritual Assault. Came out in November 2022 in the last batch, and most streamers, and I'm not a streamer, um, most streamers have moved on to keep their viewer counts. I think my last one I put up, when it was badly done, got 16. So I'm fixing my audio. I started recording with OBS Studio, and I just want to sort of be stimulated by learning. I like learning new software. I sort of got my first computer when I was 22, got a 286, played Wolfenstein 3D on floppy disks was my first game, and then every Wolfenstein game and anything that id Software came out with. And monks are dangerous at this point because they spawn lanterns. That's why if you run around a big loop, you'll be chased by them because they do port to you, but they have a delay timer to do that, so you just get chased by lanterns and they can wreck a run. Now, the beauty about this, I'm just not playing safely at the moment because I'm not in danger with that minus 30%. That guy just did a frontal on me. It didn't hit me. Will later on. I wouldn't be doing this later on. Well, not unless I got some really good ascensions. I'll be leaping all the time, keeping my armor up, keeping the damage they do to me down. Should be choosing my ascensions now. The game does poor. I'm just going to upgrade a weapon. Makes a big difference to upgrade. Let's have a look. So that's Crit X, which is good, and you get that just as basic unless you get hit by traps by 50 times, and it shows you down there a counter of 50 if you chose it. It'd be good on the boss, and I'd choose that near the boss, as you can right click with the rainbow and get crits, but we're doing white damage on this skill. No, only looking for stuff that's going to give me weapon damage. On the leap, that's a really good one, so I like the regen hit. That's base damage, so I don't care about damage. Easy choice. That's a really nice lucky shot one. So the other ones are useless. First shot after 10. I can only imagine that would be like if you're doing, like on the Tiger, sniper build, or maybe on the Monkey, a similar thing where you're just doing, a big hit every now and then. I'm not doing lightning, so no. Every 6 shots, not bad. I'll do that just for reloading because we haven't really got a lot on that. that's just base damage. So again, that would be really good. You'd be a primary choice um, if you're doing R8s. I'm going to do that because of close combat, because that's just going to give me damage on my gun, even if I'm not using my skills. Not reloading a lot. Hater bullets would be my second choice if that wasn't there. Upgrading. The reason why we're getting so many is we're killing so much, so just catching up. I'm not really worried about that one because I'm so close. I haven't been watching, but I don't think I'm getting down and reloading much, but that's not bad. I'll choose that now and throw it away later. Got two chests to look at down bottom, but I'm waking. We're hitting the caretaker, which is just it. As I said, it hit it. I have a look at these weapons too. I think there was a rainbow here. Picking up this. I'll run downstairs to have a look at those chests in a minute. Let me have a look what's on this. The game's paused now, the timer that's working at the right at the top there. That's a nice one. I like to get that, but lucky shot chance, 40% base damage is nice, but I'm going to stick with the rate of fire. Just check that what I got on here again. I've already got the elites and bosses. Did I not? I just picked that up. That's got the rate of fire. I always like rate of fire over a lucky shot chance at this stage. And I've got rate of fire of the 50%, and I'm killing them so far. I'm not really reloading a lot, so I'm going to stick with that one over that. But if the chest down there, this is a good point, that I drop a weapon here, I wouldn't. So I'd upgrade this weapon. Just roll spores on it as a maybe. They do despawn the weapons, so I'll reforge it. I'm going to drop that. Pick that back up because the rate of fire is really good on that. It's pew-pewing. And then I'll run down here, and if these chests offer to re-roll normal into rare, these are scroll ones. That can get you a normal scroll. I would do that one if I didn't have the ostrich boots, just on a chance of the snow boots. They turn up very regularly. I'm going to do a rare scroll just to see what I get. No penalty in that. I'm taking that, not because I'm using fire, but it means when the lobster's coming up, I'm taking it defensively. They won't hurt me. That's the one I just said. So, what I would do if I wasn't recording, and I don't want to make the recording too long, is I'd pick that weapon up. I'd drop my weapon here, run up to that one, run down, roll it, and if it rolls with wonderful stuff, I might do it. And if it does crap stuff like crit stuff on it, which is too early, and we give it just to see, hey, to show you what I would do if I was playing. The rate of fire is just too good on that, and so I'm going to run the bigger loop because they're going to come down there. Right here, keep getting that base damage. You'd want that else usually within 7 meters damage on my gun that are close. Get put in by a shark. That's free damage. Let's pick it up. Just run. We've got ostrich boots. Pick it up. Let's jot down quickly. It's going to replace all of them. But if you get lucky shot and rate of fire on it, you're just blitzing for this next elites that are coming up. I would normally choose that because 3 levels, you don't think it makes a difference. That base damage really rocks, but I just want to play around a bit. Oh, it was only a random one. Was it? Replace all. What happened then? Oh, I didn't choose it. So what did we get? Lucky dip. Instantly killing enemies, nice. You just see every second enemy just getting one shot. We get lots of lucky shot there. We get a base damage of lucky shot. Stability does nothing to this weapon because it hurt on an angelic aura. Let's see how this performs. And we've got our other weapon to go back to that we know is near the chest. But we got lots of lucky shot chance here because everything's dying and every second one's dying. I don't think that, look, we're just melting. So that's why I do like just like rolling that one. Yeah, this is dying quick. And enemies just got increased in strength. So the lucky shot's beating the rate of fire on that one now. I did an experiment in here. Now, is this the one? Yeah, no, it's great for us. We got a really good scroll here because it gives us a really big buffer if we do get hit. Remember, we're close to enemies. We get that extra damage because of the Ascensions. But we can't even get close to them because they're dying. That important to me. Spin around if you see a red around you, because they suck your health out. I'm not going to think about what's on that glove, because as long as I get a feel and the weapon's like pew-pewing like this, an octopus is a good example because it doesn't have corrosion on it. But we're eating through the yellow bars. That's telling us the weapon is really performing. And if you get that scroll that uses your money, because we don't need our money, every time you lucky shot chance, and you can see with this weapon like this, you'd eat all your money up. And it just showed me once how much lucky shot chance procs. It's a bit like an extra crit is how it works. So we're critting without really hitting the crit spot. That's what all those yellow numbers are. That's the lucky shot chance. So we're getting effectively crits without having a crit weapon and not having to aim at the crit spot. Just got slowed by a kappa. I leapt to get my armor up so I don't get hurt. I just got to find out where that kappa is. So you could leap more. I'm just a little bit lazy. Now you can use your terrain here. That's the beauty about this gun. All that stuff that's coming up, you're pew-pewing underneath you. Sharks are the most dangerous here, by the way. I clear the catfish. They can knock you back into a shark. Pretty fun, eh? No, don't ever choose that if you've got the glove, because you get minus 50% movement speed when you're in decay, and it will inflict decay on you. Cover one, oh, that's not going to help me with max HP. That'd be good with the glove, and if we had health still. Now I do that one and see what scroll I get, and not a good one. Secondary, I'm not using my secondary, so I'm going to throw that so I don't forget to get rid of it later, because I'm getting close to my 20 scrolls. Oops, leap, because I got cornered, didn't clear my exits. You can use corners here, but we're doing pretty good. Once it starts heating up, just use your terrain. Like this shark can't chain me down here. I'm just going to clear ahead, and this is a really good spot to make them come around to you. Just move left and right, and their frontals and the shark's chains can't get a direction on you. They have to have line of sight. Watch out though, they're going to start dropping down here. That's another spawn point. So just keep moving. We've got our ostrich boots. That's why these are wonderful at this point. Nice choke point again, because you use this central wall that stops their directionals. They will start coming from the left though. So you've got to keep an eye on your left. Got this pillar. When you do this for the first time and you've struggled with this kind of, we've got our elites come, so they will run faster than the pack. What have we got? They really want to throw us our base damage, don't they? We'll do that for damage, weapon damage. We're going to use this corner so he can't get me on the frontal. He does it, and we're going to melt him, man. We just got pretty good setup for damage. We just killed the elite there. I got a catfish I can hear. I wouldn't normally run in like this, but I just leapt and got 240 armor. So, and I can always leap away, and I've got ostrich boots if I get a big hit. I'm just waiting for those projectiles to stop so I can move closer. He won't do the projectiles if you're moving close like this. He'll try to sword you. And it's dead. As soon as you kill the elites that spawn at each timer, the next elite will be in 10 minutes. That whole line will be 10 minutes, 30 minutes, everything stops. Kill the elites and it's boss time. We got buffer shield, really nice. Remember I said I want buffer shield or firearm specialist. That means we're defensively looking really good for the boss now. Swap to our Argus. And that locky shot's going to really help us on the boss. Because anything with rate of fire killing an enemy is not only going to help you for trash. It's not going to help you for bossing, so it's a good time to start transitioning your weapon now. And that's just a defensive. I'm going to choose that. That just does a pulse that slows stuff around you. Doesn't matter, we're moving so fast. That's really nice. It's one of our blues. That would be a normal choice too after leap weapon damage, but on the boss it's not going to help me. That's going to help me on boss to leap out and get my armor back. Increased armor. Corrosion shard turned up. I must be at 20. So let me get rid of some of this. Now that's really nice for us, having had that. The synergy between that and that is wonderful. There's no negative, because if we get our armor to 0, we're dead anyway, so we've got 1 health, even though we do have a delay. So that and that is really nice. That with the one that turns everything to health, really bad. Let me see what I don't want here. That's shield. That's not going to work on armor. That will help for just getting our cooldown for our leap for survivability. That's good. Good. Damage reduction, good. Again, leap cooldown. Damage. Lucky shot. Don't know how much that's helping, but we'll see. That's defense. That's good. We're not using corrosion anymore. We're not doing elemental. We're not using gloves, so get rid of that. Don't really need that. We're not having problems with ammo, but that stops us reloading. So that corrosion is really good if you don't have the slow boots and the glove, but it just means you won't be slowed by the enemies, because what it does is the kappas and the octopuses that slow you, and it can be a death, it makes you immune to it. So it's equivalent to the snow boots that I've got there. So I can swap that out, but I've already got negative to snow. Going to upgrade, look for scroll on here. Got abnormal speed, nice. We're going to be really moving fast now. And that helps on the boss as well, because he's swiping his hands. You really need movement speed, and we've got leap that's helpful to just get to the safe spot. So we're looking really good here. 10 minutes to go to boss time. Pressing F here, because I know the Craftsman's there, just to spawn everything here. It's not as good as the other one because you haven't got the central pillar to run around, but we're pew-pewing, so we can move up to the other. I'll move up to it now. They'll start jumping. We got veteran. No, that looks similar. I'm not going to bother about that. I'm not doing elemental. How many scrolls? If you look underneath the scrolls, I'm at 17 of 20 max capacity, so I can have 3 more scrolls. Might save me on the boss. So I'll keep it for now unless better comes. Going back to my favourite little circuit until things heat up, and I'll start running around the map. 10 minutes if I kill nothing at this point. Let me just see what that one is. Lucky shot when you hit an enemy up to that stacks. That means you're going to get 100% lucky chance on the boss, 50% killing the enemy, 10% lucky chance for every 10 ammo, and we're burning through it. If you want to the next shot after killing an enemy, let's have a bit of a play with that. That's pretty good too. And it's high level, so it's going to do a little bit more. Probably performing similar to the other weapon. Everything dies a little bit slower now. Just the health increase in this last 10 minutes is crazy. And they become enhanced. Just looking at my mini-map where the reds are, they'll start, if I move 2 back there, they'll start jumping behind me. Just getting those sharks out of the way. And they can't chain me down here. I've got good movement speed, so I'll just leap to get my armor up a bit temporary. Now these guys, I'm immune to being slowed, so it's just the sharks that are worried. But I can jump up here. I can't get past him, he's too fat. Pretty sure these guys are scared of us now. There's a chest spawn I'm aware of, but for the moment, you know, I'll have a quick run to it in a second. I just want to get these sharks out. They can ruin your day. These guys don't hurt much. It's just their slows, their danger. If you circle strafe them too, they can't really do the damage they do anyway. That's why movement's so important. These enhanced. Anything in blue is the enhanced. You get some sharks here that are pretty slow to kill when they're enhanced. Use your corners. It's a good choke spot. The pillars here for that shark can't chain me. Another shark jumped down. But if you're worried and it's your first run, just run around. Thin them out. I just got hit, slowed. Don't know how it slowed me if I've got... Oh, I don't have the corruption shard on. I'll pick that up. I was down here. Didn't I have boots? That made me immune. Oh, I don't have the boots. I thought that was the boots, so let me just chuck something out. Go back and get that corruption shard. I might have thrown the boots out. Gonna pick that up. I got slow. Now I'm immune to slow. Done too many runs and you just forget what scrolls you get on what hero. Just recording each hero at the moment. because it is a little bit of a different choice. I did a generic one that wasn't very good with my first recording. I thought, look, I'll just show you how to play. I don't even know how to play these characters because my bunny is my main. Now I know that one inside out, and the monkey as well. It's fun in here with the monkey. He's got these ascensions that give you weapon levels on how much your chain hits. And I've had like weapons that are like 45, 15 levels above what the level of the weapon is dropping. And you get inscriptions on them that are elusive, an extra one. I'm really running around not thinking, like, I was a shark, I just ran past. He was immortal. But because of the movement speed, you can just see why they just can't catch up to you. I'm going to do that on the chance that I'll get a feline because I've got buffer shield and I'll be immune. What do I get? No, elemental skill damage or elemental damage. Kill you. The shark just can't waddle fast enough. I want to get those monks down though. Now it's heating up. 7 minutes we've got to survive. So if you really just want to say it's your first run, you want to unlock something. So it says on most characters, you've got it like I think that 30% that I've got when I'm close, which is really a bonus. It's like double buffer shield, 60% damage immunity, when you get pulled in close to the pack. Oh, so the peddler just arrived. This is the time to look. It's over there, upgrade. All the trash disappears. You just have to pick it up. Looking for a scroll. Got immunity. How many are we up to? We've got 19 scrolls, so I'll get the immunity and I can toss out if it wants to. And the curse scrolls don't count anything if they give it to you. Enhance. I'm going to look at these. Upgrade. Pauses while you're doing this. Leap cooldown. We haven't got that yet, so that's really nice. That was the elemental that I said. So let me have a look at the other chest. I want to just pick up all of my stuff, which I'll do when I do a big round here. Looking at this. That's really nice, but we're not critting on it. That'd be good on the boss. But 50% rate of fire on killing an enemy. Another really nice weapon. But this one's pew-pewing, and I'm going to stick with the lucky chance. But, it's just showing you can get some really nice stuff at this time. And the longer you go, this last 10 minutes, that's when everything starts to really drop with blues. For that, I could re-roll, but I'm going to just do 3 on that. Going in with that, you don't realize that the heavy lifting in this is being done by the Argus. It's just rate of fire on here. Even if we had bad stuff, it would still be all right on our inscriptions. A good elusive inscription on this is one that you get a second beam. Only good for not bossing, but just clearing. And speed, we've just got so much good speed with the boots and the abnormal speed together that we can just move through the pack. And they can't really, they take a little second to lock onto you. And where they've just aimed, you've gone beyond it. Even the shark's chain where you just were. That's why just movement is really important. And on other tunes, except for this one, I always do the Valiant Sword. That gives me 25% base rate of fire on anything and 25% movement speed, but I can't make that work because of the way the shapes work with that 30% damage reduction. So if you play another hero, you'll see the other videos I'll put up in the next few days. Lobs is the most dangerous here, but they're a bit scared of us at this point with what we got. And I think I got the Flame Shard, didn't I? Yeah, so the damage is not going to nuke me. They can really just one-shot you if you're cornered. But speed again, they bombard where you just were. That's where the fire circles are. So you can just do a big loop around the map. You don't have to be where I am, playing a bit reckless. You can jump up, use the terrain. There they are. You can jump over if you had the mid-air scroll. Just keep jumping. Okay, what do we got? Upgrades to swap to your offhand. What are we up to? 25 now. Usually 24 if you don't get the rolls off the chest for your weapon by the time you boss it. And we're level 44 already, and we're not even killed the elites. So we're looking, because we're killing so fast, we're getting so many more levels. And remember that every level we're getting 3% weapon damage, plus more choice at scrolls, plus more ascensions. So we might be up close to 50 with this. The more trash you can kill, and that's why I'm doing in the time limit, the more levels you're getting from the beads they drop. Not even, like I'm not even using my leap to get my armor up because of that -30 in the buffer shield. The synergy of those two together are just wonderful. Survivability. I'd say this is probably the best survivability of any hero in here. Just got chained and he didn't do any damage to me because of the -30 being close to him. And here's the elite. Just kill him quickly. He's just, not even his chains were hurting me because I was close. No other heroes like this. So, and even without, it's not even the Ascensions that are doing it. It's the buffer shield and what we've got in the concentrator that's doing this, killing everything through here. Playing very reckless here because I'm not scared, The defense of this character is amazing. Only because of the container and the buffer shield together now. It was nice timing to get that. Just to show you how wonderful it is. And if you got essence to burn, I would re-roll that buffer shield early, and that assures the run. It's a bit like having feline cat and buffer shield, but much more likely you're going to get it. Now you can run around because at this point, just run around and the elites will catch up to you. I'm just going to kill this guy. So I just stood in that to see the damage it did. It didn't because of the flame shard and the damage reduction we got. Stay close to them within that, I think 12 meters it was. They'll port down and port up to where you are, so you just keep running around. I'm just waiting for the timer of 30 minutes. We've got 2 minutes 30 to last, so you don't have to kill anything in that time. But it is helpful getting the trash down so that when the elites spawn, you're not going to die to everything on you at the same time. This trash just keeps spawning, but at 30, the trash will stop spawning because you can thin out the pack then, just in case you haven't got as good weapons or scrolls or whatever. On Ascensions, we haven't got great ones. What do we got? Got some blues. But, it would have been nice to get cooldown down for the boss, get that one up, and get that one up, and get that one up. But we've got enough. So it's not Ascension based. Now those lobsters I've done, they will nuke you. I'm going to get this guy down. Again, line of sight, use it. I can kill him, but he can't aim at me. He does port to you. Now he's going to die so quick. And you try doing this without this setup. These guys do not melt instantly like this. We've just got, very strong class to play. I say class because I play World of Warcraft, and I think of them as similar things, but heroes. You know what I mean? You can use if you get behind that. Oh, it got chained. I'm leaping out, but he didn't do the damage because of those buffer shield and the 30%. I only worked that out today on a run. Thought, why am I so invincible? And worked out it's the container plus the buffer shield. So it's good to have it confirmed. Just really would be scared of that guy. He can one-shot you. But just using the terrain, he sort of does where you were. I would not be playing like this on another class. I'd be running around. I just wanted to get him down. I'm leaping it at the shark. Okay, what have we got? We're at 20 of 20, so you got to be careful. Whatever you choose here, it'll drop a random scroll, and one of them could be really important. So no, even though it's lucky chance, I'm just not going to, I don't want to think about that. We got, what do you got? We hit the 30-minute mark. See that there? What we're going to do now, I better get out of there. I'm going upstairs. The elites will come to me. 45, I'm sweet for the boss. This weapon will melt the boss. So what I got to do is just kill the elites away from the trash. Just playing it safe. They'll come up to me generally. You can see them on there. There they are. So I can use the corners here. I'm going to stay close to him, both for the defense, but he won't do those projectiles at me. The sword does less damage than them. Can use the corner here. Can use the pillar. He does see that he's aiming where I just was, but we've got lots of crap up here now. We've got lobsters are really deadly. Going to get this guy through the terrain. He ports to you. Bit risky with the lobsters, so you can run down bottom, but I'm just going to get them now. I'd run down bottom if you're just getting used to it. You're a bit scared and you don't want to lose the run. Okay, what do we got? That's the one there. When your armor breaks, weapon damage, which is not likely. We're not cleaving, so it's not helping us. We're getting down. It's really good to get that scroll that every elite you kill along the way. If you get it, you can have, like, I think there's 12 elites in here, 120% damage straight up. But we've got what we need on the weapon, we don't need it. Just stay close to him. He'll try to sword us. And when the yellow's gone, he'll melt. We've still got a monk. I can see his ads shooting us through the walls. Just keep moving. Again, they shoot where you just were. Pretty fun when you're OP, especially if you've been like I have in the past before I worked this out, and you were just, I didn't get to this point. Second set of elites, I just, just couldn't get them down. And I wasn't the level I was, now. So I didn't kill so fast so early. Here we go, there it is. Bit dangerous spot to do it, but we'll just see back and forth. Just leap to get some armor up. Sort of get rid of that. This guy sort of runs away from you. He gets a bit chicken when he starts to lose health. And he does lanterns at you. So this beam will go to the lanterns when he spawns them like that and just kill them instantly. That might be the last elite, I think. Yep, boss time. There are scrolls that I've thrown out. I think that helped on here though. I think that was when your sheet is 0. Yeah, it doesn't help me on this build. So we're heading to the boss now. We've got everything we need. Good defense, reasonable defense on Ascension's not great, but we have on the buffer shield and what our container, which makes this hero so consistent. Just looking for any scrolls that might be OP, like if there was a feline on here. I've only got it once off a vendor, usually get it from the selection of 3, but then that would mean we could stand still and have a bit of fun. You bump that up. Now be careful you stay on this side. In co-op, my son was bouncing around and I just sort of came in a bit late and he sort of bounced around like this and started. And I hadn't put the inscription on the weapon I just picked up. We melted his shield instantly. Just keep moving left. You can see the weapon and the lucky shot chance is critting. Now, the thing about the beam is it keeps coming off sometimes and you've got to look for the pillars. You can do different things. You swipe. We've got plenty of movement. Beams come off him. It does that. I don't know why. Get away. If you got hit by that, you would leap, jump, and then there's another pillar, and he might do the pull in, which I think he is, yes. Stay behind the pillar, but the beauty about the weapon is it can melt him through it. Come on, get on there. We're going to kill him in a second. And what's he going to do? We just reloaded. He swipes, he moves close. He can sometimes do it in the same spot, so jump, and he's dead. Good run, very overpowered, one of the best classes to play. Let's see how much essence we got. And thank you, SlightNRG, for helping me understand the heroes that I don't play very often. 31 minutes. Commentary made it longer, just trying to explain why things work. I only got 30 because I had plenty to burn, but you'd have about 550 essence if you didn't re-roll and just chose whatever if you're doing it to farm essence. Have a good day, and hopefully that recorded okay, and I'll see you next time.